enduring comic creators of all time. Over the course of 7 decades, Stan has helped create a universe of compelling characters, forming an endless all-star roster of heroes and villains. Fate came calling, and in the early 60s, Lee was called upon by his boss to create a series for Marvel Comics.
I was always wanting to quit the comics at some point or other.
I said to him, why don't you create characters that you like?
The worst that'll happen is you'll get fired and you want to quit anyway. So get it out of your system. And that to me was a real epiphany.
Lee did away with some of the usual comic conventions, creating a more realistic and relatable slate of superheroes. Stan teamed up with Jack Kirby to create the Fantastic Four in 1961. An explosion of new titles followed as Stan co-created an enormous roster of Marvel characters like the Amazing Spider-Man.
Peter Parker came from an effort on my part. Knowing how I hate teenage sidekicks, I said, why not have a teenager who's a hero?
Stan gave his heroes real-world problems and human failings, firmly establishing the approach to storytelling Marvel would make forever famous.
We have the juxtaposition of the bigger-than-life problem, as I say, and the very simple home life and family life that these characters have.
Stan became Marvel's editorial director and publisher in 1972, and eventually was named Chairman Emeritus. In addition to publishing, Stan has appeared in some of the most popular films of all time, based on his work.
I am so fired.
He's appeared in nearly every Marvel film project.
I don't consider them cameos anymore. I consider them supporting roles.
These cameos include Disney's animated feature Big Hero 6.
Son, Dad.
Television shows such as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter, animated programs like Phineas and Ferb, and Disney XD's Ultimate Spider-Man. Outside the superhero realm, he even pops up as a wedding guest in Disney's The Princess Diaries 2, Royal Engagement.
I'd do better if you and I get married. I've done everything I want to do. I've wanted to write, and I've written. I want to do more of everything I'm doing. Excelsior!
Although we tried in that video, it is hard to define Stan Lee, who for 7 decades has been so prolific, creating thousands of characters and countless stories. In the process, he's become a cultural icon, as countless fans see him as a beloved character, as you just saw in so many different Marvel movies. He's actually got some superpowers as well, I think somewhat limitless in their nature. Certainly his imagination is limitless, and he also has an unbelievable sense of fun. There is a twinkle in that guy's eye 24 hours a day. He's had a tremendous impact on the publishing world, but his influence goes so much further. Everything Marvel is today, including multiple TV series and an incredibly successful movie studio, is rooted in the work of Stan Lee and his co-creators. And so for all those reasons, we're proud to name Stan Lee a Disney legend for such an extraordinary career and so many great contributions. Ladies and gentlemen, Disney legend, Stan Lee.
Never been known as a man of few words, but I've got to say, I was so thrilled to see that testimonial to Jack Kirby. So well deserved. Thank you. I'll go back a few years to a teenage boy, not even a teenager, a kid around 8 or 10, who loved to read everything he could get his hands on. In those days, he read the Hardy Boys, Tarzan, Sherlock Holmes, little books he could buy inexpensively. One day in a bookstore, he saw a book that was an expensive book. It was what they would have called a coffee table book to him. It was called The Art of Walt Disney. I was that boy, and I couldn't afford the book. And it drove me crazy. I wanted that book so badly. I saved my pennies, and after a few months, I bought The Art of Walt Disney. I loved that book so. I loved Walt Disney so. To me, he was more than a man. He was an inspiration. He was something to reach for, to be like him. And to think that today, I'm standing here in the house that Disney built, and we've paid tribute to Jack, and now we're talking about all the things of Disney's. It is so thrilling, I can't tell you. And I thank you all, and I thank you, Bob, for having me. And of course, I can't leave without saying, Excelsior!